Hey there, good morning Rosie, and good morning all of Northeast Ohio. Yeah, here are the latest reports from our area. Much of the high wind reports came along the lakeshore, but there was a pocket here where we had some strong storms push through Wyandotte, Crawford, Richland County, where we had some damage reported down in Richland County and around the Mansfield area. So that's what it looked like as far as how it went. Here you go. This was 1 a.m. starting to see this line approach. Ahead of it, we did have some thunderstorms that definitely produced some gusty winds, especially along the lakeshore. But then here it is, 1 o'clock in the morning, that strong line creating some winds upwards of 70 miles per hour at times. Again, mainly near the lakeshore there. Out by 4 o'clock, and now we're watching the sun as it comes up, and we've got lots of sunshine on tap for us. Still a couple wispy clouds out in our far southeastern communities, but that's about it. That was round one, though. We do have round number 2 on the way, and it's with another cold front. That front is situated off to the west of us. You can see this batch of showers pushing through Chicago. Ahead of that, those thunderstorms, excuse me, will start to pop up mainly afternoon for us, noon to 4 o'clock. And the Storm Prediction Center does have much of eastern Ohio in a slight risk. That's mainly east of 77. It's a 2 out of 5 scale, kind of like what we were in last night. But again, we're going to be watching for these to pop up here anytime between noon and 2 for our area. Your severe risks, I cannot rule out a tornado. There's a small risk of that. However, our main threats will once again be those high winds, maybe upwards of 70 miles per hour. We'll also be on the lookout for some hail. And of course, we'll have the locally heavy rainfall with that. In the meantime, enjoy this quiet conditions. Temperatures in the low and mid 50s right now. It's 53 here in Cleveland. Wind advisory goes into effect here in the next half hour, and this continues through 8 o'clock. Wind gusts upwards of 50. So far our gusts are fine, but look at this, and they ramp back up as that cold front starts to move in. So another windy, wicked day on tap for us with those potential for severe storms in our eastern county.
All right, let's take a look at our forecast, and we've got kind of warmish weather now, but it's gonna just drop. We've had wind. We've got a lot of everything happening.
Mother Nature playing a big joke on us on this April Fools. And this morning we had a line of severe thunderstorms that pushed through our area. It left about 4 a.m., but I mean, I'm sure it woke you up if you were
big time
sleeping. We had 70 mile per hour wind gusts with some of these, and we're not out of the woods because there's another shot of severe weather later this afternoon. I'm talking right afternoon, actually. So noon to 4. That's the timing that we have to look out for. In the meantime, though, those thunderstorms have moved out of our area and sun coming up. We've got lots of sunshine out there right now. It's a gorgeous start. Temperatures feeling wonderful. Low 50s at the moment. We'll likely head to 60, but these were not wonderful. That was through the night. We had wind gusts upwards of 70 at Burke Lakefront. Same with Lorain Airport, 62 Parma, 61 mile per hour wind gusts in Geneva on the lake. And again, wind will be the bigger threat today. Now, wind advisory in place for our area. A lot of wind alerts encompassing much of the region. Again, this wind advisory goes into effect in the next 15 minutes, and it sticks around through 8 o'clock tonight. Wind gusts upwards of 50. Still dealing with severe weather well to the south. That's actually a tornado watch in and around the Atlanta area. And then beyond that, to the north, we've got winter storm watches and warnings and advisories. So winter weather with this big drop in temperatures. Eventually, we're going to get a wintry mix here later this evening. But first, let's get through our round 2 of severe weather. Storm Prediction Center is going to come out with the latest within this next 2 hours on their thinking. But right now, east of 77. That's where we're expecting the severe weather threat here mainly. This is where we're in that slight risk. That's the same risk that we were in last night. So it's a 2 out of a 5 scale. Again, the main threats will be the damaging winds. I can't rule out hail, and I cannot rule out a brief tornado. So here's a look at the setup. We had that strong cold front move through during the early morning hours. Next up, it's this cold front. Already starting to see the showers develop here. No thunderstorms as of yet. And then beyond that, it gets colder. So this evening is going to be rather chilly. This morning, we'll actually have the warmer temperatures, so temperatures will be falling through the day. Let's talk our severe risks. Again, as you can see on the map, the highest threat will be mainly east of 77, although once it initially starts, maybe around 11:30 noon, these areas, Lorain over towards Ashland, down towards Wayne County, slight chance that it could turn strong. See, we've got a lot of sunshine out there right now. That's just going to fuel the fire, make more instability for our area. So a small risk of tornadoes. It's not as non-tornado threat. There's the threat there. Hail about quarter size, that threat higher. Our highest threat will be those high winds. There could be some storms that form that could possibly bring down about 70-mile-per-hour winds. And then, of course, locally heavy rain. So let me time it out here on you. This is 10:30. We're already seeing it approach here in our northwestern communities. I'm stopping it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And there you have it, mainly east of 77. You see these bright red, these cells. This is where we could possibly have the severe weather. It's out by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we're back to just garden variety rain showers, possibly even mixing in with snow as early as 4 p.m. as the colder temperatures come in behind it. Then tomorrow morning, we'll likely have a mix of sun and clouds, eventually more sunshine on tap for us as we head through the afternoon. And then on Monday, there's a slight chance of an isolated shower. So low 60s expected right around our lunch hour. Then that strong front moves through with some thunderstorms. Temperatures drop into the lower 40s by the time you sit down for dinner. It will be a windy day, winds gusting upwards of 50, especially with that front as it moves through. Then tonight, that evening mix, little to no accumulation expected. It'll still be breezy and rather cold. Temperatures back into the upper 20s. On Sunday, we've got lots of sunshine. This is, of course, your pick day of the weekend because we're nice and quiet, not tracking anything. But it's chilly, 48 degrees. Don't worry, though, we warm up. We've got low and mid. Well, this is a very nice view. We've got lots of sunshine out there right now. Temperatures in the low and mid 50s, and we're headed to 60 before our next round of potentially severe thunderstorms move into our area. That coming right around our lunch hour and out pretty quick, but behind that front, we've got temperatures tumbling, more rain showers on the way, and even mixing in with snow at times. So a lot of weather to get to talk about today. Let's talk about temperatures right now. We're generally in the low and mid 50s, winds coming in out of the southwest. Wind advisory just went into effect about 15 minutes ago. Winds right now, still not bad. We've got a breeze anywhere from 10 to 15, gusting to 25, but those wind gusts will eventually hit 50 possibly before the front and as the front moves through. So wind advisory until 8 p.m. this evening for all of Northeast Ohio. So we had those line of thunderstorms, line of severe thunderstorms push through our area 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. this morning. So we're definitely cleaning up in some spots with those higher wind gusts. You can see it here. We had a couple clusters pop up in the evening. Strong winds along the lakeshore here with that first cluster. Then this line moved through our area. It prompted a tornado watch down towards the Cincinnati-Dayton area. And in fact, some tornadoes reported in those spots. For us, thankfully, no tornado warnings, but we had severe thunderstorm warnings all along that line as it moves through. Shout out to our meteorologist, Mackenzie Bart. She covered it all night. So ran into her this morning on my way in. So shout out to her for keeping us prepared and also giving us all the latest as that line moved through. That cold front now off to the east. We're tracking our secondary front. This one is going to move in this afternoon, and ahead of it, we're already starting to see those showers form, becoming more and more stronger as it moves to the east and encounters all this instability with the sunshine out right now. So the severe weather risk today will be mainly east of 77. And again, the timing noon to 2 o'clock here, a small window. Can't rule out some thunderstorms in our western areas as it gets going. But again, the severe threat will mainly be east of 77. I cannot rule out a tornado with it, but the main threat will once again be those higher winds possibly upwards of 70, and then of course hail as well. So here's the timing on Futurecast. This is is 11:30, starting to see signs of it popping in our western counties. Temperatures in the low 60s, winds ramping up, and then it blossoms here by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's already raced along the border. You got heavy rainfall and again some wind with those supercells. And then behind that, it gets colder. Temperatures lower 40s. We'll continue with some scattered rain showers. It'll still be windy. And eventually those rain showers could switch over to a few snow showers as our temperatures dip below freezing. But we're not talking a big lake effect snow event. That should be out by the time we hit midnight. And then we're back to sunshine. It's just a cold start tomorrow and it will be a chilly day. Temps generally in the mid and upper 40s. So looking ahead, we'll talk more springtime temperatures as we head into the work week. Low and mid 60s expected Monday into Tuesday. How about this? Wednesday, this is your pick day, 72, but unfortunately we've got some showers and thunderstorms around the second half of the day. So far, Guardians opener looking good, nice and quiet, but on the cool side. Chilly temps in the upper 40s. Back to you.
They may not be sitting there much longer though, I don't think.
Glazed.
Very good. Glazed is always good. Take a cold Krispy Kreme donut, put butter on it, and put it in a microwave for about 10 seconds.
Okay.
You're talking just exceedingly great goodness.
I just needed sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar this morning.
You've had a long morning because we've had so much weather.
I didn't have as much as a long morning as Mackenzie Bart did.
Right.
She was in for us all last night, overnight, covering that line that moved through. In fact, she texted me at like 3:30. She's like, hey, you know, it's out of here if you want to stay home and sleep a little bit. I'm like, I'm up, I'm coming in.
Right, because she needed to go home.
Kudos to Mackenzie. I mean, that line of storms, it was severe as it made its way through northeast Ohio, and severe thunderstorm warnings were issued all along that line, and that lasted from 1:30 in the morning until 4 in the morning. So we definitely had some nasty weather. Right now, look at this. It's so beautiful out there. Don't let this fool you. Mother Nature has more tricks up her sleeve. We've got another round of severe weather headed our way, mainly around our lunch hour. And this is another possibility. We could have winds as high as any of these wind gusts as these thunderstorms pop. Now, as far as a line of thunderstorms go, not expecting that, more so clusters. So we're also going to be on the lookout for the potential of some spin in some of these storms. So stay tuned. Timing for us, mainly 11:30 to 1:30. That's the main window that I'm going to be watching here closely. Wind gusts right now, not bad. We're at 25. This wind advisory, this goes on through around 8 o'clock. And the highest winds will, of course, accompany or come ahead of the front. Winds out of the southwest at 20 to 30, gusting to around 50. And we're not alone. Much of the region under any of these wind alerts, just to the south, a high wind warning. Storm Prediction Center, they're going to come out with their latest one in this next half hour, but they have much of our eastern counties, let me go back to that, in and around a slight risk here. And the slight risk is exactly what we had last night. That was around a 2 out of a 5 scale, meaning there could be a couple of severe thunderstorms or a few of them popping up. Right now on radar, nothing popping up. I'm watching out towards the northwest. This is where it's going to develop and work its way to the east. Here's the cold front. You can tell where it's at. It's still well off into now approaching the border of Indiana here, and those showers along that. So no thunderstorms as of yet, but that will continue to strengthen as it moves our way. So your severe risk, actually just this is the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. They've now pulled part of the severe risk more west. So the slight risk now includes Lorain, parts of Erie, Huron County, and down into Richland and Ashland County, all the way down to Tuscarawas. And then in our far western counties, Ottawa, Seneca, Sandusky, you're at the lower threat. But here are the threats. Tornadoes not out of the question, but it's a low threat there. The main threat will be high winds, and there's also going to be some hail around. So here's your timing. Starts to develop 11:30 in our western communities north of I-71. Look at how it just blossoms, but it's out by around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we're just talking normal scattered rain showers. Colder temperatures filtering in behind the front. That could mix with snow during the evening, and then we're back to a mainly clear sky on Sunday. So there's your pick day of the weekend, 48 degrees. How about a look at the week ahead? And of course, I'll show you this more closely in the next hour. We've got temperatures low and mid 60s Monday and Tuesday. Here's the day, 72 on Wednesday. So far on the cool side for a Guardians opener, but at least we're nice and quiet. Really woke you up last night. You're probably wanting to stay in bed a little bit extra longer this morning. But if you want to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather that we have right now, I suggest you do so, because within this next couple of hours, things are going to change once again, and you're not going to see this sight. Looking at our temperatures, mid and upper 50s through the morning, even 11 o'clock, we'll hit the lower 60s. Winds will be ramping up at this point as the strong cold front moves in. And look at what that front does. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're at 45 degrees. So it's going to get much colder. We've got a windy day on tap, and we've got a window where we'll likely have some pop-up storms ahead and with the front. So let's time it out here for you. First, let's talk about these temperatures. Mid and upper 50s. It's gorgeous start. 56 Hopkins, 54 at County Airport, 55 in Willoughby. Winds, a bit of a breeze at the moment, but nowhere near as windy with that front last night. Winds out of the southwest, 10 to 15 sustained. We're gusting just over 20 in spots, but this wind advisory, it's in place until 8 o'clock this evening. Winds will be the highest right around our lunch hour and a couple hours after. Southwest winds 20 to 30 sustained, gusts upwards of 50, maybe even more so within some of those severe thunderstorms possible with those higher wind gusts. But as far as sustained winds and wind gusts go for most of us, here's what it looks like. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're gusting over 40. That's where we could gust to 50. And then it starts to get better as we head into the evening. All right, so Storm Fox is nice and quiet right now. We're starting to see some stuff show up here just now to the west of Toledo, and north of that, thunderstorms. So that is actually, this was from this morning. This is that line that pushed through our area, and you can see just how numerous as far as thunderstorms go. And then that strong line with the winds that moved through between 1 and 4 o'clock. Now sunshine, and then here it is. Just off to the west of us, there's our batch, that number 2 batch here, right ahead of the cold front. And you can see the colder air closing in on us as well. So as far as severe weather goes today, the window that I'm most concerned with will be between 11:30 this morning through around 1:30, and it's for anywhere shaded in yellow where you have the better shot of getting one of these severe thunderstorms. High winds will be the main threat. Can't rule out hail, and I cannot rule out a weak tornado. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I'll be here throughout the afternoon to let you know if any of these storms pop. Right now, Futurecast, the latest run, has it right around 12:30 and around Cleveland, Akron, Canton. Quickly moves out of here. By 2 o'clock, the severe threat over with, but then we're back to just normal rain showers and colder temps. Lower 40s by the time you sit down for dinner. Overnight, we drop below freezing. We will have a few scattered snow showers around. No accumulation expected. So that's good news. At least we're not going to have a coating of snow on the ground. Beyond that, we've got spring temps, 61 to 65.
Sort of thing that you always got busted for because the teachers knew better.
I was going to say, you know, thermodynamics class, we would be taking notes on the equations, meteorology behind a cold front, the clouds, and I remember copying down these equations to take up like most of the page.
Oh, yeah.
So thankfully we did not have to memorize that. But that's
back in the Stone Ages with the dinosaurs, you know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. So, you know, factor the equations for us. All right, here's a look at your time lapse, and boy, after a bumpy night, we've got lots and lots of sunshine, looking great. Things changing though. You can kind of see it in the corner here, Put-in-Bay. Clouds moving in. This is ahead of round number 2. Yes, there is more severe weather on the way for us, at least the potential. Be here to guide you through it. Temperatures in the mid-50s right now in Cleveland. Here it is. It's just off to the north and west of us. Starting to get some thunderstorm activity in southern Michigan. I'm going to be watching the tail end of this as this continues to work its way to the east. It's along a cold front. That cold front will be working its way into our area after 11 a.m. The timing for our area, I would say anywhere between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. The window even, I'll show you hour by hour coming up here in just a second. But here's a look at alerts across our area right now. Much of the region under some sort of wind alert. We're under a wind advisory until 8 p.m. Gusts as high as 50 miles per hour possible. On Storm Fox, all is quiet for the moment, but here's what we're looking at today. Under a slight risk, that's a 2 out of a scale of 5 for much of the area. This excludes our far western counties, but still there is that chance. It's on the lower side, but you could possibly get an isolated severe thunderstorm. So here's the timing of this. Futurecast picking up on that spin that you saw here just to the north and west of us on radar a second ago. By 12:30, I mean, this front's going to be hauling. So as it moves through 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock right along the I-77 corridor, and then as you head to the east here, it should be out by around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the window that I'm going to be watching for those severe storms, 11:30 to 1:30 for our area. That's the time you want to check our weather app or stay tuned to see if we definitely have any kind of severe storms popping up. So here's Futurecast at 3 o'clock. Following the front, just the garden variety showers. It gets colder, so some of these showers will mix with snow at times later this afternoon into the evening. A little to no accumulation expected, and then we're back to sunshine tomorrow, but it's going to be a cold start. Our temperatures likely in the upper 20s. By Monday, we'll bring back the cloud cover and the risk of a few showers around. So we'll hit 62 before the front gets here, and then by dinner time, low 40s. So there's that drop. Again, those thunderstorms in between, changing over to a wintry mix. An evening mix possible. 29 degrees tonight, definitely a breezy night still ahead of us, gusting to around 25, but nowhere near the higher wind gusts that we're going to get this afternoon. Sunday, that's your quiet day. That's where you can sit back, relax, enjoy the sunshine, but it'll be chilly. Temperatures in the upper 40s, and then here are those spring temps. We're back into the...
Well, a popular chicken restaurant is adding a dessert spin style on a classic strawberry biscuits, and everybody will just lay around stuffed all day.
Yeah, it sounds like a good meal.
And a good meal for today, like today, just sit in the house if you're just kind of enjoying the sunshine a little bit.
Maybe have coffee out in the patio right now. I mean, that's the main threat, damaging wind. So we could have higher gusts upwards of 70, kind of like what we had last night. But we're not going to be tracking a full line. It'll likely be a broken one. Again, popping up in our western communities starting as early as 11:30.
All right, so be careful out there, folks. And thanks for watching. We'll see you later.